Need a boost? Sometimes all it takes is tapping into your inner cool. Icebreaker's gum helps you unleash the confidence within. Each chew releases a rush of icy flavor powered by cooling flavor crystals, sending a wave of refreshment to reinvigorate all your senses. Icebreaker's convenient pack fits everywhere, from car cup holders to backpack pockets, so you can find your cool wherever you go. Grab Icebreaker's gum online or at a store near you.
When it comes to online college, Southern New Hampshire University is so good, it's scary. Listen, the facts don't lie. SNHU has degree programs that fit your goals, online classes that fit your life, and real support at every step. And if that wasn't enough, they've got some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. This is an airtight case, you guys. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to get started. That's snhu.edu/morbid. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Alaina.
And I'm Ash.
And you know what this is?
Is it creepy?
It's morbid.
Oh, right. Yep.
It's morbid.
Yep, got it.
Here we are.
3 years in, I still don't know the name. Just kidding.
Sorry that part 2 is like a little more delayed than we usually like them to be.
Listen, I'm just going to be upfront and honest with you. A bitch had to get a colonoscopy. Okay, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
You know what? Good on you, man.
For like 3 weeks, I've been referring to it as a procedure. And then like I had to drink the magnesium citrate. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know all about that. And I lost all...
will to live.
That and like just like privacy. Like I'm just like fuck it.
I mean, why not? Just let's just be out there and open. I appreciate that. I'm impressed by that.
Thank you.
I'm amazed by you.
And for anyone wondering, I have IBS. It's fully confirmed.
In case anybody's wondering. But yeah, that's not a fun procedure. And, you know, it takes a couple days. So
anyways,
we decided to let this one go to the end of the week so that Ash could, you know, get herself back on track. And
here I am.
And you know what? Here she is. Like...
Oh my, thank you. Because I'd like to thank.
That's a lot. Like, you know, like anybody who cited one, I'm sure that's not fun. I can imagine.
You want to know a secret? I blow dried my hair before.
She sure did.
In the middle of like my misery, I was like, well, I'm not going to go in there looking shitty. I wore a matching pajama set and like fuzzy slippers in. And I was like, hi, I'm here to be colonoscopied.
None of us would expect any less. I'm sure everybody agrees with me when I say that.
I know that.
And we wouldn't want anything less.
No, neither would I.
We wouldn't want that. But I'm just, you know, good for you for pushing through it.
Thanks, honey.
But that's, I'm sure, you know, that's why this part 2 came a little later than we normally would like it to, but obviously
we'll make up for it.
There was a big reason. So
yeah, I had shit to do.
None of us are upset, so I hope you're not upset.
I don't think you are.
And it's worth it. Ash did a really good job with this case, so
honey,
part 2 is worth it.
Who are you today?
I know. I'm just feeling so sweet.
Just feeling so kind. No, she's always kind to me.
I'm having some Pepsi. I'm feeling sweet.
Oh, look at you. That's not what I'm having.
No.
I'm having a nice, what is it? Raspberry lime seltzer.
There you go.
I like to pretend that it's alcohol.
Easy on the tummy.
Yes, honey.
You know, that's what we're here for.
But yeah, we are in part 2 because I don't really think we have any business other than explaining to you why this is late.
No.
But we are in part 2 of the Smiley Face Killers segment, if you will.
Is it just mayhem?
fucking
basically.
craziness. Yeah.
Because does this ever stop? No.
No,
I'm sure we can just continue this for another few years.
Yeah, honestly, this could be its own podcast. I wonder if it is already.
I know, it probably. I wonder if it is.
I'm going to go ahead and look that
I
up
haven't
after this,
searched.
and I'll let you know tomorrow when we
should
do
know.
another episode.
Who knows? Maybe, in a year from now, we can just do 2 more.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, I hope not. Like, here I am being like, who knows?
No.
Great. No, I hope not.
No.
Hello. We all hope not.
Well, I mean, 2 more on like what already happened is how I took that.
Exactly.
Because there's hundreds.
And you know what? That's what I meant.
Obviously.
That's obviously what I meant.
This is Morbid Late Night, in case you couldn't tell.
It is. Morbid Late Night is very different from Morbid Mornings.
Yeah, it's like how like the Today Show is different than like the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
Yeah, we're risque at night.
Does Jimmy Kimmel have a show?
Yeah.
Okay. I get the
he
two
did.
Jimmys confused.
Yeah, he
Jimmy
does.
Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, he has a show.
All right.
There's a lot of Jimmys.
Jimmy.
There's some Jameses, I'm pretty sure, at night.
Yeah, there's a lot of J's at night.
Yeah.
But
Wow,
this
you're
isn't
right.
about that.
It's
This
not?
is about the Smiley
Are you
Face Killers.
sure?
So in part 1, we talked a lot about, the theory of what's going on. Like these young men are getting abducted. They somehow get separated from their friends. They don't really seem to have drank that much, but
Yeah, that's the interesting
they seem
note.
like inebriated. So it's confusing.
We had a lot of people confirm like that drink thing because I was like, is that a lot of drinks for like that size of a person?
Did they say no?
A lot of people said no. They
Yeah.
were like, some people said like, I'm that size and that would do basically nothing to me. Or like
Wow.
my husband, my boyfriend, my
I would
father.
be on
they
the
were saying
floor.
like that is very normal. And then I was thinking about it and I was like, John's a really tall guy. And I remember when we were like younger and actually like going to bars and stuff, like he could have way more drinks than I could ever imagine even
Yeah.
looking at or
Yeah.
smelling without dying. And he could easily do it and be fine.
Right.
So I think I was going too much off my own like
6
way
drinks,
intolerance.
like when you say 6, like we were saying earlier, for like me or you,
It
that
makes
would
you
be
think
a lot.
it's like you have to go by size. So thank you to everyone who was like pointing out that they can tell us no.
Yeah.
It was not.
Yeah, I from everything I read, it didn't seem like
Yeah.
it was. But I agreed with you. I definitely had to do some research into that because I was like, wait a second.
That's why this case is so crazy because it's like things like that. Some people are
Right.
like, no, that's not a lot of drinks. And then some people automatically are like, that's a lot of drinks. He was probably
Right.
just drunk. So
Right.
this case has so much of that.
You got to just dig
You
into
do.
it.
And you have to look at it from such a different angle instead of looking at it from your own lens. You have to look at it like
Right.
as a very generalized thing.
Well, not only that, you have to look at it from like a scientific, like
You do.
death standpoint, like,
For sure. Yeah.
And this specific case, or excuse me, victim that we will talk about first in the part 2, you're just gonna lose your mind based on everything that is in this. Like, he was absolutely murdered. Like, this was not an accidental drowning.
I'm ready for my mind to just launch across this room. So let's
I'm
do
ready
this.
to see that. So let's
I'm
get
ready.
into it. So by the time that I started reading about Todd Geib's case, I could not believe that law enforcement called this one an accident. Like, I was fully just shocked.
Now I'm ready. I'm like
Shooketh.
stressed. I'm stressed out here.
Okay, so and that's the thing. Like, if you're not fully convinced that Todd Geib was murdered, like, literally we have to talk because I just need to talk to you to understand why you think that.
Oh no, what if I don't think? All right, I'm ready.
Well, then we'll have a chat here. But I talked to you about this a little bit already, so I think you'll be fine. But Todd was 22 years old and he was living in Michigan. And the night that he went missing was June 11th, 2005. He had plans to go to an orchard party with some friends, which is like, that sounds right up our spooky alley.
An orchard party?
An orchard party.
What? One. Why have I never been to an orchard
Why
party?
have I never been to an orchard
This is
party?
on all of you. Why have you not invited me to an orchard party?
If I ever get invited to one, I'll ask if I can have a +1.
3, can I have an orchard party?
First, we have to find an orchard.
We're going to find one.
This was like a family orchard, like a family farm orchard kind of thing.
Fall plans 2021.
Fuck me up. So only the beginning part though, just the orchard.
Yeah, just that.
But so before he went to the party, he stopped at a local bar called the Kaz Bar for a drink. I couldn't find out whether he was with somebody or if he just like stopped for a drink by himself, but it also really doesn't matter. The only reason that I tried to look into that was to see how many drinks he'd had at the bar, or
Yeah,
if maybe
somebody could confirm it.
Anybody remembered anything weird at the bar, but
Yeah.
nobody remembered anything.
Good instinct.
Thanks. You know, I'm becoming a detective slowly
You
but
are.
surely. Imagine me as a fucking detective.
Imagine.
No. But so he went to the bar and then he went to the party. He hung out with his friends and he left around midnight, which is pretty decent time.
I was
going
gonna
to
say,
leave,
yeah, that's
pretty straightforward night for a 22-year-old.
Absolutely.
Now, over the course of the entire night, like we were saying, most of these people, these victims, aren't drinking a lot, like at all. He only had a couple drinks. And Todd's mother, Kathy, said that her son was a great kid. And the only thing that she's really worried about with all of this going on is that people will lose track of who he was.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Yeah, in this case specifically, like, I feel so bad for his mother because things are still happening, like, that we'll get into, and
that's the
disturbing.
That's the other part of this case is these victims' families have to relive this over and over when another victim happens.
Well,
it's
and
like they just keep having to see this pile on top of each other.
And every mother that were, like, I've mentioned all the mothers, they all agree that their children were murdered.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
They all agree that, like, this Smiley Face Killers thing has something to it at least.
And no one wants to believe their child was murdered.
No,
that's not what you want your first, you know, that wouldn't be your first thought as like, oh, yep, that's definitely what happened. So it's like, for them all to think that, there has to be a reason here.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, that's like the last thing that you want, obviously.
Absolutely.
You'd rather it be an accident if it has
if it's got to happen.
happen.
You don't want to think of it at the hands of someone else.
No. And just, I just can't even put myself there. I can't even imagine. Ugh. But she went on to say that he was a fun-loving family guy, and she doesn't believe the authorities when they say what happened to her son. Now, Todd was missing for a total of 21 days, which is 3 weeks.
A lot of days.
3 full weeks. That's literally almost a month.
Yeah.
His body was discovered in the water by Jim Wildey and his wife, who were getting ready to go canoeing, and this was a private lake that they lived on. Now, when they discovered him, he was discovered in a very strange position for somebody who had quote-unquote drowned, just like a lot of these victims. His head was above the water, resting on one of his arms, kind of like his forearm, and he was floating vertically. Not horizontally like you would expect.
That's interesting.
Very strange. Very strange.
The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off their newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're looking to refresh your interior or your exterior, they've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Getting paid twice a month doesn't mean money is scarce. It just feels that way. That feeling makes you do weird stuff, like putting things on a card you didn't need to. Earnin removes that feeling. With Earnin, you can access up to $150 per day of money you've already earned, plus up to $1,000 between paychecks. Standard transfers take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees, and expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already on it, and honestly, it's wild it didn't exist sooner. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play, spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Morbid under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Now, one weird thing about the discovery was that Jim's brother, the man who lived on the lake and who discovered the body, his brother had actually been out on the lake fishing for like hours the day before Todd's body was found.
Really?
Like from daylight into nighttime. Now, the lake is not really that big, and you can see most of it standing in one place. Jim's brother never saw even a glimpse of Todd's body that night.
That's strange.
And he was actually Jim's wife thought that it was a beaver in the distance. So like his body was very noticeable.
Wow.
In like where it was.
Yeah.
You would have seen him.
Absolutely.
So it's really strange that his brother didn't see him. Now, even stranger is that in the previous days when Jim had gone out to use his canoe, he found that it was missing. And when it turned back up again, it was filled with empty beer cans. Now, this lake was, like, not off of exactly where they were partying. Like, this was not off of the orchard.
Huh.
Right. And it was like, it's a private lake, like I said, so that's really weird.
Yeah, I was going to say this isn't a public area.
No.
That's weird.
So strange. And Kathy said that when Todd was discovered, she was able to see him and she was surprised at the condition that he was in. And she went online and actually did some research and investigating herself into what a body would look like had it been in the water that long. And she said right then and there, she knew that Todd had not been in the water all that time.
No, of course not.
And wait until we get into this. This specific one is just like, I can't. So Todd's autopsy listed only moderate decomposition. Now again,
21 days.
21 days, 3 weeks, almost a month, in the middle of June, by the way, in like a warm area.
Yeah, that doesn't check out to me.
Like, it's May right now here, and it was 90 degrees today.
And I could barely stand outside.
Yeah. And you're telling me that it's only going to cause moderate decomposition in that time, that amount of time, and that specific, like, calendar time?
Yeah, no.
It doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't check out to me.
The autopsy also made no note of any insects on the body, which is essentially just impossible in those conditions.
No.
It also listed high levels of disipramine and amitriptyline, which are 2 antidepressant drugs that Todd was not prescribed. And they spoke with a pharmacist in the documentary that I mentioned in part 1. And the pharmacist said, like, these aren't party drugs. Like, you wouldn't use these to get high. Like,
yeah, like this, you're trying to rule these out as like, did he take them to go to his orchard party or
which
whatever?
It's like, no, you wouldn't have taken those because you probably would have like fallen asleep. And well, at the levels that were in Todd's body, they actually could have killed him or at the very least caused a seizure or cardiac arrest. Like, not party drugs.
So this is, and it's like, 1, these weren't party drugs, and 2, the amount just wouldn't have, even if they were party drugs, like, it would have been lethal.
Exactly. Lethal, or at least like close to lethal.
Definitely like incapacitating.
Absolutely. Like, you would have had to go to the hospital to get your stomach pumped, probably.
Very interesting.
But, you know, if they had been crushed up and slipped into Todd's drink, then he obviously would have been incapacitated really quickly, which seems to be what kind of happens here. Like I was saying in the beginning, these guys aren't drinking a lot.
No.
And then you don't really look for drugs in somebody's system. Like they don't necessarily look for GHB all the time.
No, of
in
course
somebody's
not.
system. I don't really know why they found these ones in his system. And they didn't look for GHB in other autopsies. I don't know how that works exactly.
Maybe it must have been, it can be like what is ordered, like what kind of tests are ordered. So maybe at this point they just did it to cover. Right. I don't know.
Well, I would assume, you would really look into this one based on the level of decomposition and the amount of time supposedly in the water. Yeah. So maybe that's why they kind of looked a little bit further. I'm not exactly sure. But back to the insects. No one is buying the lack thereof on Todd's body, and especially not the people who are reinvestigating this case. So the team met up with a man named Eric Benbow, who was a forensic biologist from Michigan State University. And he confirmed that in his experience, insect evidence is always listed on an autopsy.
Yeah.
Which I would assume.
Because insects show up real quick.
Well, yeah. They show up even when your body's not found in the water.
Exactly. They show up
blowflies.
As soon as a body dies, an amazing layering effect of insects will show. And it's like different ones show up at different times. They show up for different kinds of decomp. They do different things. There's you can tell such a timetable from the insects on a dead body.
Yeah, I would assume so.
And that's the kind of stuff they do at the body farm.
Right.
And it's they'll watch and see who shows up first, who shows up second, who's going to come way at the end and pick the stuff off the bones at the end. There's such a routine to it almost. Yeah. It's so crazy.
And the thing, if you follow me on Twitter again, you saw that you'll understand that what I was tweeting about when I say kind of what we get into in a second.
Yeah.
But I just find it so interesting. It's so disturbing that obviously insects eat our bodies when we die.
It's fascinating.
That's fucked up, but it's so interesting.
It is. And that they're so rigid with how they do it, basically.
Yeah, it's a system, it's a routine.
They give us evidence with what they do.
Right.
Because they allow us to tell a timetable. They allow us to pinpoint closer, at least, to a time of death. Yeah. It's just really cool that they are evidence You know,
It
like
is cool.
evidence of, it's just so crazy.
Well, and then especially even in the water, like there's different aquatic insects, and that's what they were
Exactly.
talking about here. They were like, oh, like this insect and this kind of insect would have been like right there.
Yeah.
Now, further, there should have been like at least some note made of presumably a large amount of green algae that if Todd had been in the water that long, like in this specific lake, there's a lot of algae.
Yeah.
And even if there's not a lot of algae and you're in the water for 21 days, you're going to have some kind of film on your clothing.
Absolutely.
There wasn't a lot of film on his clothing, and his mom actually said that was one of the things that struck her as odd.
Yeah. Anybody who's had a fish tank.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So they did an experiment that you probably saw me tweet about. Now, pig skin is apparently, and I did not know this, is apparently very similar to human skin, which creeps me the fuck out. So they took 5 pig carcasses and they put them into the water for 3 weeks, the exact time that Todd was missing for, and presumably in the water. And they periodically went back to check in to see what was going on. They also dressed one of the pigs to see how much algae would accumulate over like a certain amount of time. Now, decomposition literally started on day 1.
Yeah.
The carcass became like really bloated, and there was a lot of bugs lurking. And they were taking note of the different insects. I think they were even like kind of taking them into like tubes and everything.
Of course, because you're starting to let out gases almost like right away, especially in the water, which is attracting those insects. So the fact that there was no insects on him is just like,
it's unheard of.
it truly is.
It's just not the truth.
It's like, dare I say, impossible.
No, it
It's
is. Because even if he had been in the, I'm like, no, it is. Alaina,
No, it is.
autopsy technician.
It's
It is
absolutely
impossible, says me, hairstylist. Like,
hey, you did your research.
I did. But it's just, it doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. And it's like, even if you were in the water for 1 day, there would be some kind of insects on you.
Yeah, something's coming.
Yeah. Now, so that was 1 day. 3 days later, there were insect eggs laid on the body.
Of course.
And by day 21, the body was literally just like fizzling out, dissolving into the water. Had he been in the water that long, unfortunately,
He would have putrefied.
there wouldn't have been anything left of him except skeletal remains,
Absolutely.
which is very sad. But I just feel like that whole experiment proves that he was not in the water for that long.
Yeah, I don't know how they can look at that and at least not question it. It's like, come on, you got to start looking at this a little.
Dude, it was one of the gnarliest things I've ever seen in my life.
It is. It's wild.
But like, I hate to say this, but so fucking cool. Like,
Well, that's
so
why,
fascinating.
that's why the body farm has always fascinated me and like enthralled me because it's so important.
You know
that
what?
kind of test is so important
It
to
is.
do. It's how we figure these things out.
And I used to make fun of you all the time and be like, that's terrifying. Like, you're a fucking creep. I'm like, now, like, sorry. I'm like, take me with you.
Because you see the merit in it.
It's very interesting. And exactly, like you
Yeah.
said, like, it can solve things.
It's like so important.
So not only that, but again, I said they dressed one of the pigs in clothing. Now, the level of algae on these clothes, they were algae at the point that
They were.
took
They
them out.
became one with algae.
They did. Like, it was it was like somebody got slimed on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Like, that
It makes
thick.
sense.
There's no fucking way that he
Yeah.
was in the water for 21 days.
No, this one seems pretty cut and dry.
So-
That something happened here.
Then where was he and who did this to him?
That's what I want to know.
Now, this is what I was talking about when like things are still happening that are involving his mother and his family. A smiley face was not only left on Todd's grave, they put a smiley face on his grave. It looked like a sticker. There was also one found on a tree near where his body was found. Now, you could absolutely argue it could be like some fucked up teenagers playing some kind of sick ass prank.
Yeah, which teenage kids have been known to do.
And by sick ass, I don't mean like cool dope. I mean like disgusting,
some
disturbed
sick
teenagers.
ass
Like, fuck you guys
teenagers.
if you did that.
Can you imagine if you literally meant cool or dope?
Which is a dope ass prank.
These sick ass teenagers.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at
Yeah,
all.
it's one of those that the smiley face thing is the thing where I like
It starts to teeter off. I get it. I do.
that's where my like skepticism kind of
I absolutely get
creeps
it.
in. But the rest of this one, I'm like, do I know it's like a smiley face killer that did it? No. Do I know that it's somebody who did it? Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure.
Now, as of February 22nd, 2019, I believe you say the Muskegon County prosecutor is strongly considering reclassifying Todd's death as a homicide. But it's like, Can we kind of get over to the hump of where you're just like, hey, I saw that pig video too, and like he was definitely murdered. Like, let's go ahead and rule that a homicide.
Can we stop just like strongly thinking about it and maybe
do something about it?
Put one foot in front of the other and maybe just do it?
Like, get off your booty.
I love that as like
strongly.
I'm really thinking about it.
Nobody showed him the pig video. I know it.
Strongly thinking. If you saw the pig video, you wouldn't strongly consider it. You'd be like, we are opening this.
I saw the pig video.
At least open it.
I tweeted about it. I texted Alaina about it. I asked Drew if I could show him. Drew actually let me show him.
Wow, that's impressive.
I know. It was wild.
It's one of those things, I say it a lot, that it's like, why not just go above and beyond? And if you're wrong and you find out that, it was an accident, all right, you're wrong, but you did your due diligence. So it's like, you can't really feel bad about it. Losing money and resources or not, I think it's for a good cause. And it's like, what's the worst that can happen? You find out that you're right and that it was an accident.
It is weird to me, I will say, that all of these, I shouldn't say all, most of these cases, all this evidence is coming out during the reinvestigation where like there's like ligature marks around somebody's neck, or there's like Todd Geib, like he was not in the water for 21 days. There's all these things that you're
wild.
Like, why do you guys not want to open this up?
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, again, if you're skeptical of this, you could argue like, it's not real and it will cause mass panic. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
But also we owe these victims' families closure.
There's at least a couple here.
Yeah.
That are very questionable.
Personally, I feel like every single one that we've talked about so far is a murder.
I feel like I don't feel that.
No.
I felt like there was a couple that I could definitely see being an accident.
Okay. I can see, the thing is, I can see why you think that.
Yeah.
I just strongly disagree.
Yeah, which is totally fine. Because I'm not going to sit here and claim I know. I know that it's an accident. Like, I feel like some of them might be accidents. But there's a couple that are like pretty like,
oh yeah,
like Todd Geib. I'm like, guys, that looks a little suspicious.
Like
it also makes me wonder, with him being vertical in the water like that, I wonder if somebody tied something to his feet to throw him in. He stayed that way for a little while, then whatever it was slipped off his feet. And he had already decomposed to the point where gases had escaped. So he stayed that way.
Interesting.
Instead of like decomposing in a way where if he was in the water for 21 days, and he was already in a position, maybe he stayed that way because gases didn't escape in a way that would like put his body back onto the surface.
I could see that.
Who knows?
I wonder.
Which would, again, lead to
But then
that's
you think
murder.
He was dressed and there wasn't that level of algae found on the clothing.
That's the thing. So it's like, was he murdered and then like held? And then to dispose of his body, they put him in the water with something attached to his feet.
Oh, like closer to
maybe it wasn't attached very well, and it slipped off pretty quickly.
Yeah,
and then he just rose to the surface that way,
and that's why
he'd only been in the water
was moderate.
Yeah, because maybe he had decomposed a little out of the water.
Sure,
after he was held for a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really solid.
That's
theory.
that's just me.
I mean, this is your line of work.
Spitballing. So. I don't know. I have no idea.
I could absolutely see that. I would have never thought of that on my own.
I don't know. I was just, the whole time I've been sitting here thinking the vertical thing, and I'm like, I know it happens rarely, but like,
it's very rare. Because I think they said that like on the documentary too. They were like, this does happen, but it's like very, very
but it's
rare.
definitely not like the norm.
But then you think about like when we talked about Brian Welzian, and it's like he washed up after 77 days.
That's wild.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and, like,
those ones are wild.
Like barely, like he looked like he had been missing a week.
Those are the ones that I'm like, all right, fellas, it's time to crack open those old case books.
Luckily, Brian Welzian, they did open up.
Yeah.
These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to, probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. I happen to be somebody that struggles with people pleasing. So a lot of times I will build things up and up and up and up and up and then kind of get to the point where I'm like, I need to let this out to this person. Even in 2026, that stigma and just stigma in general can get in the way of a lot of things, like getting support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking that first step yourself because you're busy. You're worried about what other people might think or telling yourself that you should handle this all alone. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, can be a space to slow down and talk through what's been building before it feels unmanageable. Just take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully qualified. Don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid.
So let's talk about somebody that you definitely know about. We are going to talk about William Hurley.
Yes.
If you grew up in or you're from Boston, you know this name.
I know this name.
Now, William was a 24-year-old Navy veteran living in Boston with his girlfriend of 2 years named Claire. I saw in some sources that they were engaged, and then I've seen in other sources that they were just boyfriend-girlfriend.
Either way, they were in love.
They were in love, and Claire is a beautiful human being. Like, you can just see her soul is like so pure.
Oh, Claire.
And I feel so bad for her.
My heart goes out to you, Claire.
And his parents, obviously.
Yeah.
So on October 8th, 2009, the night he went missing, he had been invited by some coworkers to go to a Bruins game. William didn't really know that much about hockey, and he wasn't super into the sport, but he did agree to go anyway. His girlfriend Claire was actually going to be at class that night anyway, so it was like, he might as well. You know? Now, while he was at the game, he was texting Claire about one of the guys that was there with him. He didn't know the other guy really that well, other than from that night. And the guy was apparently just being like a jackass and really getting on William's nerves. And he texted Claire saying the kid was a tool. And then later he was like, I'm going to kill this kid. Like obviously he didn't mean it like that.
He's annoying the shit out of me.
Jesus Christ, I'm going to fucking kill this kid. Now, eventually, about halfway through the game, William decided he was like, I don't like hockey. I don't like this kid. I'm good. And Claire was actually going to be leaving her class pretty soon, so she could scoop him on the way home. So he gave her a call, and he was like, can you pick me up? She said, yep. And she was on the phone with William while she was trying to figure out exactly where he was. Now, if you're from Boston, the Garden, where the Bruins games take place,
The Garden
can be, even if you're from here, super hard to navigate.
Oh, it's a hellscape.
It's horrific.
It's a legit hellscape.
And especially when you're picking somebody up, because there's about 82 places that they could have exited from.
I can feel the anxiety.
Oh my!
Just thinking about it.
Even just leaving the Garden yourself, like as a patron,
Yes.
you're like,
you're like, what way do I go? Where are we? Are we at the right entrance?
what street do we park on? Like, it's always backwards.
You always come out the wrong door, and you're like, where the hell am I now?
You're
and
like,
then you
what
have to
train?
find yourself back where you. It's
horrific.
Boston, am I right?
Boston, you are right. So when she got to where William said that he was going to be, she texted him, I'm out front. He wrote back, okay, I'm here, I'm coming. Now, the other thing about the garden, and really just Boston in general, is that you can't sit parked out front.
Sure can't.
You gotta just keep going or everybody's gonna yell at you
Oh,
and
yeah.
flip you the bird. You have to keep going. So she had to loop around again, and she was just staying like, William, stay in one spot and I'll find you.
Yeah, like, stop moving.
Right, especially, and she was confused about, she had said this in the documentary, she was like, I didn't understand like why he kept moving. Like I told him just stay in one spot.
Yeah.
Now, especially at that point, she was like nervous too because she knew that his phone was dying. Ooh. Which, like, obviously at that moment is like, oh crap, your phone's gonna die. But
Yeah,
now
like,
you're
now
like,
we're gonna have to
oh
find
my
you.
God.
Yeah.
So eventually somebody told Will, like she heard somebody in the background yell that he was at 99 Nashua Street. And Claire was relieved because she was only 150 feet away from that point, according to her GPS. 150 feet.
Oh my God.
But when she got to that point and pulled up there, Will wasn't there. It had been less than a minute, probably.
I was
like
gonna
less
say.
than 2 minutes, maybe, if she's driving slow. So she got out of the car and she yelled his name. Nothing. He literally just like vanished into thin air.
That's wild. About
This one
case.
specifically
It's wild.
is insane. And just even the more you get
She was
into it,
150 feet away.
and she says
On the
it.
phone with him.
She said, like, I looked at my GPS.
Here's someone.
I was 150 feet away and I was relieved. Like, oh, finally
I'm right
I found
here.
him. Nope. So in the following days, Claire did everything she could think of. She called Will's mom, who came to Boston from, I believe, North Carolina. There were missing posters all along the water that Claire had hung up and people searching the city, but nothing. It would be 6 days before William's body was found in the Charles. Now that's a river if you're not from here. There were blunt impact injuries to his head, a bruise on his nose going under the right eye, which was now completely shut. And there were 18 micrograms of GHB present in his body. So he had absolutely been drugged.
For sure.
Like, obviously. Now, William's cell phone was found right near where Claire would have picked him up. It was like he like dropped his cell phone and just like vanished into another world.
Because someone abducted him.
Mm-hmm. Now, the cell phone looked like it had been run over, and I guess the battery was missing.
Yeah, okay.
So,
I mean,
hi.
hello.
It was given back to William's mother, Lynn, after the original investigation. So Kevin and his team asked if they could see the phone and maybe kind of get it up and working again. Now, they were hoping they could even like look at some of his text messages. And that's actually how they were able to get the text that I was talking about and the call logs calling Claire. So they brought the phone to a digital forensic analyst, which I was like, what?
Hell yeah.
That's a thing? Like, that's so, like, all the, just like the different
Forensics is
there's
my
so
favorite.
many
It's
avenues
just-
you can go down if
there's-
you want to get into
exactly.
forensics.
There's something for everything. And it's like these people are so laser focused on their one
Yeah.
specialty. It's like,
and they're
it's
just like so well educated and
It's
well
so crazy.
spoken. Like, listening to them talk, you're just like, don't ever stop. Tell
just
me
keep,
everything.
Keep on talking.
Now, one of those people was Derek Ellington, the digital forensic analyst. Wow.
Analysis.
Analyst.
It's even a new specialty, an analysis.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Now, in his opinion, the phone had been more than run over. It seemed like somebody had snapped it, taken the battery, and then ran it over. So, like, clearly somebody wanted this phone donezo.
Perhaps the person who he was saying is really annoying and I want to kill him and I want to leave.
Kind of what I was thinking, too.
I don't know.
And again, he didn't know this guy very well. These weren't like coworkers. I
No.
don't think that, it never said anywhere that these were like his buddies.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when it says you're going out with coworkers, it's like, they're kind of your friends.
They're
but,
just like people you see at work.
Right, exactly.
Like you don't normally hang out with them outside of work.
Exactly. So yeah, that's how the phone
Like
was
you're
found.
my coworker.
Yeah, I never see you outside
Yeah, I
of
don't
work.
see you outside of this.
We have such an interesting job.
We do.
We're literally together every single day.
Yep.
But in addition to the phone weirdness, they also wanted to look more into the injuries that William had suffered that night. And I actually talked to you a little bit about this, and I forgot what you said. So we'll get into
I think
it.
I like debunked one thing in my own mind.
I think you did. But I think I may have rebunked it in my research.
Rebunked it.
So, while talking to Dr. Elizabeth LaPosta, she explained to the team that the injuries to William's face weren't entirely consistent with falling into the water because most of them were in the recess areas of his face. This is what I was talking to you about.
Yeah.
Now, she went on to explain that typically when a person falls into a body of water, they hit the more prominent parts of their face, like your chin, your nose, maybe even your forehead if you're me.
Yeah, things that are like protruding instead of like convex,
your
or
cheekbones,
concave places.
Yeah, not like underneath your eye like him, or like kind of the part of your nose that's in between your eyebrows kind of goes like in a bit, so you're not really going to hit that usually when you go into the water. Now, I lost my place. The only way to explain Will's injuries was basically assuming that he fell into something when he fell into the water that would have been able to hit the recess area of his face.
Yeah.
But, and I will say, to be fair, it is not unlikely that that happened if you know how nasty the Charles River
If you've
is.
been in the Charles.
There's a lot of stuff just lurking in there.
Well, my thing was like, what if he hit something that was protruding?
Right, exactly.
Like, even while he was like floating.
Exactly.
Or moving in the Charles at some point. What if something was sticking out and happened to be able to reach those
I almost think of
areas?
like there's probably like old fucking pipelines and shit in there.
Dude,
like
there's like old mobsters in there. There's definitely old.
there absolutely
there's
is.
all sorts of things in there.
yeah. But the bruising around his face means that he must have been alive at the time he got the injury, and at least for several minutes after for bruising
That's a
to
very
occur.
good point.
So that's where I rebunk your theory.
You did. That's
little bit.
that's a rebunkage.
He wouldn't have bruised if it was
Unless-
post-mortem, right?
Unless, because I fully believe he was murdered.
I do too.
For sure.
There's you can't convince me otherwise.
There's
so don't
nothing
even
that
try.
No, there's nothing that says to me at all that this was an accident.
Once you
Not
get
one thing.
even just once you get to GHB, I'm like, oh yeah, they were murdered.
And like finding the phone where he last was talking to her, and then like
Snapped, run over,
he was
and battery
talking to her.
missing. Right.
He was planning on getting in that car with her.
Right.
Where the hell did he wouldn't have just wandered off
No.
again? Like it
And,
doesn't
you
make
would've-
sense.
It's so crazy because you would assume that she would have seen him like cross the street or
just
something.
somewhere. But that's why I think like someone really.
I think they
I
had
don't
to have
know.
like tossed him in a van or something.
Yeah, or like led him away quickly, so it was like really unnoticeable.
but not. I mean, she was on the phone
in a crowd.
with him.
But like after a Bruins game,
no, this was midway through.
or excuse me, midway through a Bruins game, but still,
Some
during
people
those,
do leave.
during those games. There's like a lot of shit going on around the Garden,
And
like,
I mean, nighttime at Boston.
nighttime
There's
in
just
Boston.
a lot going on.
Yeah, so it could be like a very crowded area, which would allow someone to quickly lead him away.
Yeah.
But I think it's with this one with the like I think he could have been clinically alive when he hit the water,
You think so?
which I think he could have been. I'm not saying he was,
Okay.
because I have no evidence to say he was, except the bruising.
Right.
If he did happen to hit something in the water and he was clinically alive, sure.
Then it would have bruised.
But to be honest, it sounds more like a beating.
That's what I think, especially
Yeah.
those specific areas,
Yeah,
like
it
the
sounds-
the bridge of your nose right
Exactly.
here and underneath your eye.
Exactly.
And the other thing that bothers me is to the point where the eye swelled shut.
Exactly.
Like that's not
That's
something
not just
hitting you in the water.
It's not a bump.
Yeah,
that's a
that's force.
forcible injury. So it's to me it sounds like a beating.
I think so too. And it's like, I don't really think he entered that water alive, especially based on everything we know so far about the alleged Smiley Face Killers and just these victims in general.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Now, before Will was found, actually, Claire spoke with a police detective that told her the diving team had not found Will while they were searching in that area of the river. And he literally said to her that she could, quote, put that to rest. Because that was like one of the things that she was really worried about. Like maybe
Really?
he fell in the water, or like she was
Something
really worried about
happened.
water. It's almost like she had this feeling.
Yeah.
It seems like obviously they were very connected. So
Damn.
I don't put it past her for having just a gut feeling.
Damn.
Right. Now, a week later, Will's body was found in the Charles, like I said. So he had told her she could put that to bed, and then a week later he was found there. Now, I do find that interesting that they searched that specific area.
Yeah.
Because it's like, because that's happened before in these cases.
Yep,
and then
it
these
has.
bodies turn up. And it's like, it's just interesting to me. Like it does fit kind of the MO and like the, you know,
it all does kind of link up that
It
it's like
does.
they're not there, then all of a sudden they're there.
Right. It doesn't make sense. And the location where his body was found is pretty compelling stuff, because where he was found would mean that his body was traveling against the current. And that usually doesn't happen, especially with an unfortunately lifeless body.
Yeah, current tends to,
Go one way.
you know, carry things with it.
It does.
As opposed to against
I
it.
mean, especially in Boston
So
too. Like we can get crazy winds here.
That's weird.
And this is my favorite fucking part of this entire thing. So I've talked about Dr. Lee Gilbertson. He was the doctor on Kevin's team. He volunteered to recreate the scenario and straight up hopped into the for him to hop into the Charles River, this man is dedicated.
That's real dedication to the cause.
They found a day that matched the weather conditions on a week that matched the weather conditions on that particular time when Will would have been in the water. And their findings were that it would have been impossible for the wind to push a body against the current.
I love that they went this hard with it.
Love it. You have to, I'll rewatch it with you.
Because I got to see this.
So good. So that led them to believe that Will was dumped in the Charles either the morning that he was found, like right there, or that he was dumped in the Charles from a different point than they had surmised in the original investigation.
Okay.
Because they never had an exact pinpoint. They were just like, it was probably around here because he was talking to her like 150 feet, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Now, one man was interviewed, and this is, again, we're going to get into like the smiley face stuff. So it's,
brace yourself.
Yeah. So one man interviewed said that he saw 3 stars next to a smiley face spray painted on an electrical box near the harbor. Now, in Boston, like I think I said in part 1, there's been about 12 cases presumably linked to the Smiley Face killings. 3 of them were near Boston Harbor. So it is interesting that we have a combination of smiley face and stars, like 3 stars.
And 3 stars.
But also smiley faces and stars, like I said, are
very
pretty
common.
common graffitis.
But interesting.
Right.
Something to entertain.
Exactly. Now, there were also another 3, including where William went missing near 99 Nashua Street. 3 smiley faces there. There were 3 near Brighton, where 3 bodies were found, and 3 near Boston University, where 3 bodies were found. So for Boston, there's smiley faces near all the bodies that were found, all 12.
Interesting.
Now, the guy who was interviewed said about this, you have 12 arsons in the neighborhood, you got an arsonist. Like basically saying, like, all these kids are turning up dead, you got a serial killer.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly.
Basically.
That's exactly what he was saying.
Also, I wonder if, and I don't know if they said this or not, if those, did they paint over those smiley faces or are they still all there?
I don't know about that particular one, because the other thing too is that the documentary came out in 2018, so I'm assuming it took probably like a year or 2 to film, so I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder.
But I know that in some of the cases they've been painted over.
Yeah.
And actually, it's really weird that you asked that right now, because I'm getting into our next victim and his smiley face was painted over.
Oh, really? Oh, that's funny.
But I don't even think I have it in here, so I'll just say it now. There was a smiley face found near his body where it was recovered, and it was painted over, like I said. And then they went into the bar where he went missing from, and there was smiley faces on the foundation in the bar, put there. So it is interesting.
Interesting.
Again, the smiley face part of this does not really interest me that much.
Yeah, it's because it's not like, they're the... I'm trying to think of like a really intricate...
I know, like
the Celtic knot killers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where it's like something
That
you
would be
don't
super
see all
weird.
the time. You know what I mean? Where you were like, weird that all these Celtic knots are just showing up in all these places. That would be like, huh, that's weird. But like smiley faces, that's the only reason it's like so hard to just totally hinge yourself on that.
We should try to get into contact with Kevin Gannon.
We should.
And like maybe even just like kind of hear what because I want to hear a little more what he has to say about the smiley faces, because this is his theory. Like,
I'm very interested to hear that.
Because I agree with him. These people are absolutely
Kevin
murdered.
Gannon.
So I'm going to figure out how to reach out to his team. We're going to try to make it happen.
We're going to try. Here we are declaring it out
Don't
loud.
hold on to my every last word. But
nothing may come of this, but we are declaring it.
Listen, there's been people in the past that I've tried to get on and we got them on. So
hey, we started this podcast and I was like, wow, I wonder if we'll ever have somebody like cool on there. And then we got like Billy Jensen, and I was
Paul
like,
Holes,
excuse me,
freaking Em and Christine. I died at that.
And immediately, so
Cam Esposito, Heather Bish.
So we're gonna put it out there.
I think Kevin Gannon and the team are gonna come on the pod.
We're gonna manifest this, right?
I'm gonna email them tonight.
Yeah,
but anyways, that's beside the point. Let's get into this. So our next victim is Tommy Booth. Tommy was this one especially is just like you can't convince me otherwise.
Oh, give it to me.
Tommy was a 24-year-old union worker from Pennsylvania, and his mother Barbara, who she just could be any of like my friends' moms. Like she has that vibe about her that I just felt super connected to her. She has a Boston vibe.
She's a mom.
She's a mom. But she described him as a sensitive, sincere, self-proclaimed mama's boy and said that he was the glue that held their family together.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
So just like take my heart and step on it a million times. She was actually on an episode. I just found this randomly on YouTube when I was like looking into this case. She was on an episode of Hollywood Medium with Tyler Henry.
Really?
I love Tyler Henry so much. I know not everybody's into the medium thing, but I am. And I just thought this was worth mentioning. Tyler did say, quote, there's so much of an emphasis on the investigative side of this that this person is not even having me talk about the passing itself. They're having me talk about the investigation after. And there's a reason. When it came to an investigation around his death, or this death, the thing is that there's this feeling of just like error, just like a lot of error, human error, to be honest. That's his number one message here, even beyond his cause of passing. Interestingly, it's like, look at the details of the investigation. It doesn't add up. So he was saying basically that he connected with Tommy. Wow. He didn't say that himself. He was like, I don't have Tommy. Like he was just like, this person that I've connected with is saying this.
At least saying that this investigation was botched.
And it was. So, Tommy went missing on January 19th, 2008, while he was out celebrating a friend's 21st birthday. Now, something that struck me as really odd about this particular case was that his friend group researched the bar that they were going to. Like, they looked into it, and it also just seemed like an odd place to go. Like, the bar just seemed to be in, like, a strip mall, and it just seemed like a regular bar.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, maybe they had a cool dance floor or something.
Yeah, who knows?
There was a designated driver for the night, though, and when it came time for them to go, like, to leave, everybody was looking for Tommy, and they couldn't find him. Now, in one source, I saw that it was time to leave, and that they were looking for Tommy and couldn't find him, and then in another source, I read that they got kicked out, and they couldn't find Tommy.
Oh, okay.
So either way, they had to, I think... In more sources, and I believe actually Barbara, the mother, said that they were kicked out. I think they were like smoking pot or something.
Oh, okay.
And it makes a little more sense because it's like, oh crap, like we have to go. Like we can't stick around and look for him.
That makes sense.
But like I said, in other cases, he just seemed to vanish. So it took 14 days to find Tommy's body, and his body was actually found behind the bar, laying face down in a creek. There was like a small creek behind this bar. Now, the creek is literally 30 feet from the back door of the bar, which now is shut down. There were drag marks in front of Tommy and a boot print next to him, which was really odd because they probably wouldn't have lasted a 2-week period.
No, definitely not.
Now, Tommy's nose and chin were full of dirt, clay, and small rocks, like he had been drugged at least some length to that specific spot. So it does make sense. Now, the original investigator tried to say that that wasn't a drag mark. This specific mark was like from the tide or something, like from the water going in and out. But it's a drag mark, so I'm going to go on record saying that.
But it's a drag mark, so...
Original investigator.
You shut your face.
Yeah, shut up.
Okay.
No, but even everybody like reinvestigating this was like, yeah, okay.
It's pretty much
really
a drag
cool that
mark.
you think that. Now, when his body was discovered, again, he was missing for 2 full weeks. That's 14 days.
Yeah.
He was found in full rigor.
Oh, this is the one.
This is the one. Now, rigor mortis definitely doesn't last 2 weeks, like, ever. From what I've looked into, like, that's not a thing.
No. I mean, environmental factors can, like, fuck with it.
I saw that, but nothing said, like, it would fuck with it for that amount of time.
That seems like a long time.
And again, he was only mildly decomposed.
Yeah, that's where, like, all of these things are the...
But again... I will play devil's advocate here so that you don't have to.
Thank you.
Was wintertime.
I was literally just going to say that.
And it was really cold. So that can slow down the process of decomposition.
That's the thing. And it can really fuck with all those things. And temperature can fuck
huge.
with rigor in a big way. And it can hold rigor in a certain stage for longer. So that is a thing that can happen.
So it's a possibility, but it's a rare possibility.
I would say that like 2 weeks seems like a lot.
Yeah.
But I know that it can stretch for quite a bit if the temperature, the conditions are correct. But,
Okay.
But again, it does seem like,
Yeah, it's like, it's usually very unlikely, but
Yeah.
it is possible.
yeah.
So, but again, he was laying face down in a creek for 2 weeks and only mildly decomposed. And like we were just saying, weather messes with it. But that was actually one of the theories that the original investigators had. Like, they went with the whole weather thing. They believed that Tommy's body had actually gotten stuck under the frozen part of the creek, and then, for lack of a better term, was like spit out when the water melted, and then he ended up in that spot.
Okay.
So, I don't know, because here's the thing. Tommy's stepfather's friend walked up and down the banks of that creek like a couple days or a day before Tommy was discovered, and he never saw him there.
What?
And he also said that the portion of the creek that Tommy was found in was not frozen at all, and he had been standing right above the spot where Tommy's body had been discovered.
Okay, that's weird.
That's super weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Now, another weird thing here is that there was fixed lividity on Tommy's back, but he was found lying face first. Right.
Huh.
And again, in the water when you're drowning, it would be really strange to have fixed lividity in the back, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a strange one.
It's not a drowning.
That's very strange.
Yeah. It's not common in drowning victims. And I think I've said that in a couple of the other ones who did have, again, fixed lividity in their back. And we've said
I was going to say, because there was another one.
I believe it was Brian Welsian. Now, it's not really crazy to think that somebody could have wanted to harm Tommy. In the weeks leading up to his death, actually, he was saying some pretty strange things. He actually confided in an uncle the day that he died that he was running with a tough crowd who were moving drugs and guns, and he felt like he was in over his head. And he actually mentioned just moving to Florida and starting fresh. Like, he was feeling, again, like he was in over his head. I can't think of another way to say that.
Yeah.
He was stressed out about it.
Okay.
And then about a week before he went missing, his mom heard him on the phone with someone, and he seemed to be like really stressed out and just repeating over and over again, "No, I would never do that, man. No, no."
All right. Yeah.
And his mom was
weird.
like, "What?" And then he made a separate comment to her, and I don't even know how it came out, but he said he probably wouldn't be around that much longer. And she was like, "Shut up. Like, don't say that."
What the fuck?
But again, I mean, you don't think of anything. Like, you don't
you're
really
not
think
thinking
of this.
something like this. Yeah.
Now, behind the bar, on the wall facing the creek, there was a smiley face spray painted. Which in this one, it does creep me out a little bit because it's definitely a very close proximity.
Yeah, and I mean, all of these smiley faces definitely freak me out. Like,
it adds a level of like creepy.
Is pretty terrifying, and that is weird.
That one is weird, and they painted over it, and like I said, another one showed up.
Yeah.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I Absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
So I haven't seen anything about whether or not they were going to reclassify his death. I think the original investigator wants to see more evidence based on what I saw in the documentary, because he is fully convinced that this was just an accidental drowning. They actually had somebody recreate the crime scene and like recreate what would have happened and everything, and the guy still wasn't fully convinced.
Yeah, there's something strange with this one.
Yeah, it's really weird. And honestly, it's really heartbreaking because his mother believes that he was murdered.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like.
And it's like, just look into it further, man.
I know. I feel like some of these are like a pride thing where the original investigators are like, nope, like we did a good job and it was good enough.
Sure.
And that really bothers me. Like,
yeah.
Put your pride aside and think of if this happened to your son and like what your wife would think and what you would think.
That's the thing. It's like, I really do think that this is at least partially a pride thing. There's no way, because it's also human nature to have like that, like, no, I did a good job.
Yeah, of course. I don't like to be criticized.
But like, you gotta let
it
down.
That go.
You gotta let it
for
go
the greater good.
And you gotta sit there and go, maybe I was wrong about this.
It's philosophy 101.
Yeah, it's just
greater good.
You gotta look at it from a different angle.
You do.
That's all.
You do.
Shift your perspective.
So the last victim that we're going to talk about tonight is Dakota James. Now, just like all the other ones, this is a particularly weird one. But this one is really weird because it's almost like whoever did this to Dakota had tried to previously.
Huh.
Okay.
Do tell.
This one will fuck you up. So on December 15th, 2016, Dakota's friend Shelley got a call from Dakota, and he said, "I don't know where I am. I'm so cold. Please help me. I'm lost."
What the fuck?
Yeah. Now, he was out walking in what he thought was North Pittsburgh and had no idea how he ended up there. Like, he just, like, came to while he was walking around on the streets and called his friend and was like, "I don't know where the fuck I am. Like, you gotta help me."
Sounds like he was drugged.
Yup. So luckily he was sharing his location with this particular friend, Shelley, and she was able to see that he wasn't even in North Pittsburgh. He was in South Pittsburgh. So he was very disoriented.
Very off.
And something was incredibly wrong. I'm getting like goosebumps now because I know what we're getting to. This is fucking crazy. So when Shelley got to Dakota, he was coming out of a hotel, walking toward a black SUV that was parked facing the wrong way in the wrong lane. No, she yelled his name as he made his way to the car. Or excuse me, she yelled his name, and as he made his way to her car, like once he kind of like snapped out of his trance, the SUV sped off.
Okay.
Like,
weird.
Come on.
Weird.
Now, he told her that he had gone out to the bars around 7 o'clock with his coworkers. Which, I don't know, his coworkers are fucking weird.
You gotta stop hanging out with coworkers, everyone.
It's trouble.
Don't do it.
That's why I never hang out with Alaina.
Yeah.
Now, and he said that he went out and like that was all he remembered, just the beginning of the night getting like drinks with them. His words now were like totally clear, and he was walking in a straight line, but couldn't figure out where he had been for the past 4 hours.
Just amnesia.
But he was like really shook up about it and just like really didn't want to talk about it. So they didn't really talk about it after that.
What the fuck?
Now, fast forward to 5 weeks later on January 25th, 2017, 23-year-old Dakota is out with these same coworkers, and he gets kicked out of the bar for being quote unquote too drunk. So he started making his way back home. Also, if one of your fucking friends gets kicked out of a bar because somebody thinks they're too drunk, one of you has to go with them.
Yeah, just somebody, like, you never let your, like, friend leave a bar.
Well, and you know what? I have to say, like, bars should let that happen.
I know, it should be on them to, like...
At least have somebody go with you, or, like... I know it's not, like, their thing, but, like, maybe call you an Uber. Like, can we be a little more human here?
I know. I feel like it could avoid a lot of...
Just make sure that, like, you do the best you can.
Just do your due diligence.
Like, do what you would want somebody to do to your kid or your sister.
Exactly.
Or your brother or your mom or whoever you love.
Or someone you
your
love.
Dog. I don't care. Just, like, treat people nicely.
Yeah, walk my drunk dog home, okay?
Come on.
Come on.
You just wanted to have a good time.
Yeah.
So he started making his way back home. Dakota had just gotten a raise at work. He had plans with his family that weekend. He was a grad student. He was excited about finishing school. He had everything going for him.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
But according to the police, he tripped and fell while trying to use the bathroom in the water near the Roberto Clemente Bridge, and he drowned. Now, interestingly enough, there are 11 smiley faces graffitied on that bridge.
11.
11.
Okay.
Now, Dakota, who, by the way, was the motherfucking swim team captain...
Oh, okay.
drowned.
Yeah, I don't
The swim team captain drowned.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Interesting.
Now, he was missing for a total of 40 days before he was discovered in the Ohio River.
They're missing for a long time.
40 days. Now, Robinson Township's volunteer Swift Water Rescue Group, say that 5 times fast.
Swift Water Rescue. That's hard to say.
You got to say the Robinson Township's volunteer Swift Water Rescue Group, the whole thing.
Damn.
I couldn't even say it on like one try.
I feel like I'm reading it and I can't say it.
I know, right? But they recovered Dakota's body 2 miles beyond Emsworth Back Channel Dam. Now, obviously, after 40 days in the water and probably having gone underneath a dam, you would be pretty beat up and very badly decomposed at that point.
I mean, I would say so.
Probably.
Yeah.
But Dakota's body, like the others, was in fairly good shape. The rescuers actually recognized him from the news.
Really?
Yeah, from the news.
What?
They said that they had rescued and recovered nearly a dozen bodies from that same water, and out of all of them, Dakota's was in the best shape.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Nope. An autopsy revealed that there was GHB in his system.
Wow, I'm shocked.
But
so
other
weird
than
that
that-
all of these guys have the same drug in their system.
That's super duper
Yeah,
weird.
that's
Other
weird.
than Todd Geib, those two
What an accident.
drug combinations,
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
who the
strange.
fuck had that?
That seems like it was like a last ditch effort
I
kind
think
of
you're
thing.
right. Well, and who knows, maybe they tried to put GHB in his system and they just didn't test for that, and they
Yeah.
saw the other two drugs like first.
Maybe
the GHB didn't work or something.
Yeah.
But anyways, there was GHB in Dakota's system, but other than that, they thought it was an accident.
Other than that drug that was placed in the
Like,
system.
I said it before, but like every time I see that somebody has like GHB in their system, I'm like, oh, okay, like somebody was going to murder you or at least take advantage of you.
Somebody was going to do something nefarious with
like,
you.
You don't usually drug people that you're just hanging out with.
I not usually. I never drug people that I just want to hang out with.
Me neither, but I
could say-
can't speak for everybody else, so I just figured I'd blanket statement
Good call.
that.
Good call.
Now, Dakota's family knew that this was not an accident, but they were actually being brushed off by the police and like not at all taken
That's a
seriously.
real fucking bummer.
Which is fucked. So they were like, cool, fuck you, and they hired a PI.
Good.
Now they got the autopsy photos and the recovery photos.
Fuck yeah.
And then Kevin's team became involved and they just fucking got shit done.
Oh, Kevin,
So-
our next guest. I'm so proud of him.
I know, me too. I just like,
Good job, Kevin.
I'm gonna ask him about this. But Kevin and his team brought the autopsy and recovery photos to our boy Cyril Wecht, who saw
Cyril.
a very apparent ligature mark around Dakota's neck.
Oh, okay.
Like so apparent that when they showed it in the documentary, I was like, oh yeah, ligature mark.
You're like, in my professional opinion, that's a ligature mark.
I've seen one. Now this was really interesting. I've never heard of this before. There were also there was also blood pooling in the nail beds on the third and fourth fingers, which he said was indicative of somebody trying to relieve pressure from a ligature. Like if you take your third and like, your middle finger and your ring finger and you do around your neck, like you're trying to get something
pull
off.
the thing out.
Like crazy. So there
Isn't
was
that
pooling
so
there.
amazing that like forensic pathologists can
tell you that.
can see that and be like, oh, that's what that's from.
I want to be that smart. Like,
It's unreal.
I'm not even kidding you. This case made me want to like go take a couple classes.
Yeah.
In like forensics.
Yeah, just to learn.
I don't have the time to do that at all, but I want to.
But I want to.
But it's so interesting. And as for the ligature mark, he said it was, quote, strongly suggestive and entirely consistent with a ligature having been applied around the neck. I do not hesitate for one moment to be highly critical of the neck evaluation.
Wow.
And again, I think we said it in part 1, but for another person like in the business to be critical of another person's work is a very big deal. Like that does not happen a lot.
Like it's not like forensic pathologists are running around being like, well, that guy's a fucking hack.
Yeah, there's
like,
a lot of respect within the field.
Yeah, it's like you want to, because you're all in it. You're all supposed to be in it for the right reasons and the same reason. You know what I mean? To speak for that dead person.
Exactly.
That's what you're supposed to be in for. And it's like, so you want to believe everybody's in for it for that. Yeah. So you're not going to go questioning people. You think they did their job.
No, but then you look at it
supposed to. And then when you look at this and you're like, so if one of them is, if like Cyril Wecht is being like, I'm questioning this evaluation on this one part.
It's a huge deal.
He's questioning it, which means, and he's
deal.
questioning it out loud, which means there's something wrong with it.
Right. Now, the DA was like, no. You're highly mistaken. Very like honored guest, Cyril Wecht. They tried to say that the ligature mark around Dakota's neck was blood from his mouth and nose. So numero uno.
Wow.
His mom was like, that's super weird though, because he was in the water for 40 days. Like, I feel like that would have washed off.
That's a bold one.
And numero dos, most of the ligature mark that was like super duper apparent was on the back of his neck.
So it's like, how exactly did that
it
happen?
Like drip down and like pool around like
and
in the
take
water?
Like a hard right angle and like
were they out for a Sunday drive?
Did it defy gravity and go somewhere? No,
that made me want to like belt out in show tune, but that doesn't really happen to me a lot.
No, and it's like I feel you on that, but like this is one of those moments that I won't do it.
Yeah, no.
But I get what you wanted to do there.
Wavelength.
I'm here with you.
Defying gravity.
There you go.
But Cyril Wecht said that he strongly suggests the reopening of this case, and he definitely thinks that at the very least, the manner of the death should be changed to homicide.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking ligature marks, we're talking blood pooling, we're talking missing for 40 days.
Like, how much more do you need to say this is a homicide?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Now, unfortunately, for that to happen, the medical examiner would have to be willing to review the case, and he didn't want to until the family went to the media, which I thought was like really, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, like, that's fucking shitty.
I was just going to say that's shady.
Shady as hell.
That's real shady. Like, it's shady sounding. Here I am, that's shady.
It's like, I guess you could say it's like one of those pride things again, but like, put your fucking pride aside, their child died.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, at least sit there and go, okay, I think I did the job that I feel proud of. Mm-hmm. Sure, I'll look at it again.
Well, and if you had full confidence in what you originally found, I think that you would go into it and say, sure, I'll do it again because I did a great job the first time.
I would 100% think that. Because
when you don't want to do something again.
I did my job the first time. I wouldn't be like, so I'm not doing it again. I'd be like, okay, family who is grieving, who I am supposed to be giving answers. That's my whole job.
It's literally my job
title. Is to speak for your loved one who can't speak anymore.
Yup.
And it's like, of course, I would go back and be like, sure, I'll take a whole nother look at him.
Obviously.
And I'll give you the same findings if I did my job correctly. Right. And if I didn't, then boom, we have something on my face. Yeah.
Right.
That to me is like,
so after they went to the media, he was like, oh, I'll meet with you.
Oh, nice.
But as of 2019, I haven't seen any update that he did review this case. I tried to find any updates and there's none.
All right, Kevin, that's something we're going to have to talk about.
Kev, come on.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I firmly believe that somebody murdered Dakota James, granted all the evidence in the photos alone, but I have one more tidbit for you. There was a transaction made on Dakota's credit card 2 days after he disappeared. When he was discovered, his credit card was found with his body. So, who used that credit card?
That's weird.
Very weird. Now, again, playing devil's advocate, I will say I believe it was like some kind of like PayPal transaction. So I
Okay.
know that those can be scheduled, kind of, like, right?
Yeah, I think they can.
Or sometimes, like, happen,
an
like,
automatic payment. or
come out of your
something.
bank a little bit later.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you spent the money on Tuesday, but
And
it
it was,
didn't
like,
really come
pending.
out. Right. So I guess it could be like a case like that. But that's still weird to look at.
I will say that piece of evidence isn't as compelling to me as everything else,
Yeah.
but it's there.
It was just a fun little tidbit.
It's there,
for you.
though.
And it's there. And here's the
On
thing.
top of everything else,
That's the thing. You have to, like, even the small things, when you put them in with the big things,
They
that's
become
the
more
puzzle
compelling.
pieces.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you start to get the whole picture.
it's true.
So it's
very
worth
true.
mentioning. And there's some other things that I left out with each and every victim because I really want you guys to go watch the documentary. Like, there's just
Seriously.
like, a couple things, and I didn't want to take all the work that they did, obviously.
Yeah.
So definitely go watch that. The Smiley
Yeah.
Face Killers documentary
sure.
on Oxygen.
Yeah.
Now, there are arguments against the smiley face theory, and I think we kind of talked about them basically throughout this whole thing. Smiley faces are very common graffiti. Drowning is a very common way to die, unfortunately. And the biggest thing of all is that what is the motive?
That's the thing that I
That's the
struggle
thing
with is I'm
that
like,
I do too.
why?
But
I know not everybody has a reason. Some people just like to do bad things. Mm-hmm. But it's like, this is a very big operation. That seemingly would involve a lot of people.
well, it's like a cross country.
Like, this is a ring.
It absolutely
And
is.
it's like, so what is the purpose of the ring? Is it just a ring that likes to do this? I don't get it.
But it's so weird because you usually don't think of serial killers as working together because they're egotistical. They don't want to
Exactly.
work together.
Yeah.
Like in most of the time in the grand scheme of things.
No.
But I'll leave you with this. That's like the scariest part when there's no motive.
All right, Billy Loomis.
I was just going to say Billy Loomis.
Billy Loomis.
I had to end it
Scream.
on Billy Loomis. So yeah,
Wow.
dude, go watch that documentary. Me and Alaina are going to go watch it together
Holy
right now.
shit. And also, just as like, because we talked a lot about like dead bodies and forensic pathology and all
Yeah.
that fun stuff, go read Stiff by Mary Roach. It's a
will.
really good book. I have the book. I'll let you borrow it.
Oh,
and
thanks.
It's a really
She's
good
talking
book.
to me, guys, not you.
And you can all borrow my book, my copy.
I
We
actually
can
wanna
just-
read that.
We'll just pass it around.
Mail it to the next
Everybody
person.
write your notes in the margins. I want that, like
my
Jess Mariano from Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
And but yeah, it's a really good book. It goes into a lot of like the after death stuff, and it's fascinating.
It is fascinating because
Yeah.
I mean, I only touched like the tip of the iceberg reading what I read, and I would love to find out.
Oh
more.
yeah,
I think
have
it's
so many
interesting.
books now that you'll be like, ooh.
Well, and I think it will be helpful, like going forward with
For
more
sure.
cases. You know.
Yeah, it always is.
So thanks for listening, guys.
Wow, that was amazing, and I am still stumped.
Ah, you fucker.
I'm still stumped.
So annoyed.
I'm still stumped. There's a few for sure murder.
Yeah.
100%. Don't even I don't even have to bat an eyelash at it. There's a couple that I'm like, I don't know.
See all of
Could
them.
have been
I'm
an
like,
accident.
Moida.
I can
Spencer
definitely
Henry
see some
Moida.
accidents, but there's some murder in there.
There's murder all over the place.
I don't know if they're very similar, so I don't know. It could be the same people, but then I'm like, it could just be different people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I don't
in
know,
every
Kevin.
single case,
You tell me, Kevin.
Kevin. But in every single case that we talked about, there was only moderate decomposition, and all of these bodies were found in the water. Like that
Wild.
doesn't really happen. But then obviously like weather and blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us what you think.
Yeah, guys, you got to tell
Head
us
to
what you think.
www. No, I'm just kidding. Did that seem like it was like tell us what you think?
Tell us what you think.
If you'd like to be considered. All right, guys, we love you and thank you so much for listening as always. And we hope you
Keep
it weird. But it's so weird that you're Alaina and you're still on the fence. God darn it.
I'm sorry.
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast.
Ever ask yourself, why do some pads feel so crunchy? Meet Kotex Bamboo, the pad changing the game when it comes to comfort. Kotex Bamboo is gentle on skin with a breathable viscose top layer made from bamboo, so you can really feel the difference. Check out Kotex.com for more details on the all-new Kotex, completely redesigned to meet your needs. You asked, we heard.